Willie.
Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Wait a minute.
I knew it was going to get her attention, so I had to say that, but I'm going to edit that out, though. But I knew it was going to get her attention. Willie, go ahead, man. Do what you do.
What's going on, family? This is your host with the most, Wille Beamen. We are back like we never left. This is the intro podcast. Yeah. I got my team in the building.
Man.
I got my people with me. Unfiltered.
Yes,
allow y'all to introduce yourselves once again.
Right next to me though. I gotta. Since she's woke now, we can introduce her.
It be like that sometimes.
Y'all should have. If I would have had the camera recording, y'all, she was sinking into the sunken place real fast.
Yes, she was.
And then she popped up like nothing ever happened.
So busy.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I got right next to me, my love. What's up, sis? G-Bay is in the house.
G-Baby.
Hey, y'all.
And we have a special guest. I'm going to let you do the honors of Mr. I Got Next, Willie. Go on and talk about it.
Oh, this guy.
This is my brother, man. This is somebody I've known for quite some time.
Yeah.
Over 10 years, man. Through ministry, through brotherhood, through fellowship, through hanging out. All that good stuff, man. This is my bro, Montez Tunes in the building. Like,
what's up, Montez?
Man. What's up, bro?
Appreciate the invite.
I Got Next. Where did you get this inspiration from, man?
You know he was coming, bro.
Okay, so I have a little notebook that I typically preach out of.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a lot of different titles that are kind of all over the place. I don't necessarily know what they mean when they're dropped to me.
Yeah.
But they come up when they're supposed to come up. It works out like that every time. It's been a blessing. So I Got Next. Actually, the confirmation came from me just watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that same exact line on TV. And it was like, all right, this is what I told you to do.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Got you, God. We'll work it out. And that's kind of where that.
How long have you been in ministry?
Since I was probably about 21, 22.
So I love to ask young people in our age because we all around the same age. Shut up! I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I was waiting on that look. Go ahead, continue.
It's that face.
I saw it too.
Being that you got involved in ministry so young, first of all, was it something that you were able to just say, okay, God, let's go? Or did you wrestle with it? Or did you get in and because of whatever, you kind of, was like, God, give me a minute? Like, what was that process for you?
So, starting at that church at a young age, I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see a lot of people hear their calling
Yeah.
and then run from it.
Yeah.
And then they would double back and do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's the point of running
If you're going to do it.
you're going to do it anyway?
Yeah.
So when I got my call, it was like, okay, I'll do that. Whenever y'all are ready to put me through the process, we can do that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Wow.
How do you know you were called? How did that go? I mean, did God come and tap you on the shoulder? Did you dream it? And I'm not being
Talking to my
I'm not being funny. I'm being very for real.
So actually, it comes from passion,
Mm-hmm.
passion for the message.
I like that.
So the passion of the message was like, you know what? God, you say you'll use anybody.
Yeah.
So if it's for me to do it, then tell me to do it.
Yeah.
Make a pathway for me to be able to do this and not have so much struggle.
Thanks.
So I think God, he did do that for me, but that's really where it came from.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know.
I would second that question because I know a lot of people who say that they're called to ministry, but then at the same time, they're like, they actually ask themselves, how do I really know? Especially if it's some person who've been through something in life and they're like, I feel like I'm called to the ministry. Or I feel like God has called me, but how can I be sure that what I feel in my spirit is real and it's not just something because somebody have told me or my grandparents and my aunties told me whenever you grow up, you're going to be a preacher. And that word stuck with me, or is it the fact that God literally put a burning in me to say that yes, I am ministry. So yeah, I applaud people that get in ministry at that age and actually stick with it because like you said, a lot of people get in, and because it's not as glorified, or
It's not very lucrative.
No,
It's-
definitely not lucrative at all.
and because it's not that, people are very quick to be like, okay, I tried this and it didn't work. I was looking at a video on Instagram. Larry, I forgot. I'll tag him. But there's a guy who was speaking, and he was like, there's a lot of preachers have turned church into business.
Mm.
And because of that, you lose the effect because you're more concentrated on making this building something that brings people in,
Right.
whether it's the financial people from the people that sit in the congregation or your online community, like to make it a business. And whenever that business doesn't work out, even though you're probably really called, because the business part of ministry don't work out, then you decide, okay, God, this is not my calling.
I want to chime in on that because I was listening to Bishop Wednesday night Bible study, and he was like, our business is the saving of souls.
Right.
Our business is to bring light in dark places.
Yeah.
Like if we're caught up in the profit, we're caught up in the monetary gain, then why are you really doing it? What profit man to gain the world and lose his soul? And so, yeah, I think that's really, really important. And even on calling, I remember coming to New Life and, you know, doing my Tazz no on for the go, coming to New Life, meeting obviously William O'Neal, getting to know him and his character. And,
Love that dude.
telling him like, look, I'm here. All I'm gonna do is just mom, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing else.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's not how that works.
Yeah.
Here. And so I'm walking through the process and learning who these brothers are and what they're doing here. And I remember having a meeting with Tazz, Mike, Lionel, all of them after service in the office. Like, man, I don't want to do this. I ain't trying to be no deacon. I ain't trying to be none of that, man. And thank God for my brothers, man. They didn't allow me to go down that path. And like, bro, we got you. You know, you're not in this by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's I'm grateful, man, for the brotherhood.
And since you mentioned, Elder, my run-in with New Life, which developed a relationship with both Pastor Laura and her husband, he was a no-nonsense kind of guy.
Oh, yeah.
And although I wasn't a member, whenever I would go, because I would go and I would play for other preachers. Well, he was the kind of person, whenever he prophesied or he told me something, like after church, we would, ha, 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 ha. And I would be like, nah, man, you miss God. That wasn't me. And he'll just look. That's exactly what he would do. He would just look at you like, nigga, you just have no idea that you still going to have to walk into this regardless. So even though I wasn't paper member, just being an honorary member, I had so many run-ins, like I said, just playing for different people to for him to have had a major effect on my life. But I'm surprised. Out of all the years that I had been there, I had never met either one of y'all.
Huh? Probably because I was sitting behind the soundboard. You couldn't see me.
Probably so. Probably so.
Word.
I made sure your keyboard was working, and then I walked off. That's it.
Yes. But
And
that,
they were young.
Yep.
yeah.
They were real young.
We were all young then because we're all around the same. I'm 42. I am. Just because you 32. But
I came when I was 23.
I was right around, yeah. Glenette smiling. She like that number. She all teeth. She ain't sleep no more. She
but she lit.
Y'all had to see. I wish I would have recorded that. We just
I'm so
looked at
glad
her.
you didn't. Don't do my sister like that.
Thank you.
I've had sunken moments with her before, or like she has this thing before shows. Whenever she's really feeling herself, she'll just break off into a song, and she'll feel it like she's literally on stage.
Okay.
Oh, we just recorded and save it for the blooper feed. But she ain't singing today. But so, say what you said once again, Willie, about what Dad said Wednesday about the
church.
the business of the church.
Yeah, he was basically saying that the business of the church is the saving of souls.
Yeah.
Our heart's desire, every believer's desire is to be leading people to Christ. That should be the ultimate goal. You ain't got to have the title to do that.
Yeah.
You can be in a grocery store. You can be at
That's what
home.
evangelism was.
It is. That's the office. But us as believers, we all should be leading people to Christ and sharing the gospel. I don't think you got to have a title to do that. And if you need a title to do that, then something wrong with your character.
I don't need no title. I'm just trying to lead myself.
That too.
I think
Trying
that
to get me in the dough.
Yeah, I'm with that too.
I just want to make it.
I'm with that too.
Listen,
I'm with that
I
too.
took that
Struggle.
as not just necessarily the physical church, but anything that you're doing in life and you are a part of the church or you're part of the Christian family, you should be able to incorporate God in some part of your life. So what I wanted to do today is bring some collective individuals who I know. I've been knowing Glenette for well over pre-COVID years.
COVID
So
wasn't that long ago, was it?
2020.
2020,
Yeah, 2020.
That's
Couple
only
years.
5 years.
that's a good minute though.
But yeah, but I knew you.
Longer than a lot of people.
I knew you when you were doing your magazine. I
Wow.
met you at the state
The
fair.
magazine.
Yes, you did. So that's 10 years plus.
Yeah, I met you at the state fair.
Speaking of, we need to do like we did at the time whenever they let us go before everything started, and we got to ride around and eat all the food.
Yeah,
That was good. That was
Oh
dope.
my God.
Yeah,
That's what we were saying.
We didn't get invited,
Right.
did we?
Yeah.
We don't like y'all.
but
Hey, that was honest.
It was a gut punch to my stomach.
But I think that in any aspect of our lives, we should be able to inspire somebody or share a story, because there are people that are going through things that don't know that there's a way out. And because they don't know that there's a way out, they go through it wandering or, depending on things that are not necessarily good for them, but to them, this is what I saw work for other people. Although it's not healthy for me, I seen this work, so I'm just gonna do that. So on today's show, like I said, I wanted to bring a collective group of individuals with one story of true transparency of just something that they've had to deal with in the process and how God brought them out. And we're gonna start with you, sis, for obvious reasons. She always leave us, so.
My God.
She has to step out because she has to go secure the bag.
Glenette, did you feel those bus wheels? Did you feel them?
She always
they ran me over.
I was about to say, because I felt the wind from it, because I'm right here.
And backed up and ran me over again.
she always has to leave to go
Oh my
make that
God,
money.
the wheels on the bus go.
So Glenette has shared with me over the years, and even through her podcast, Broken for Purpose. Like, we don't have to get into the whole of things because I know what it is and what it does for you from whenever you were supposed to do the audio book that you never finished.
Okay, so what we're not going to do is we're not going to bring up the past like that. Okay?
Before we get serious, let me tell y'all what
That's
happened.
another set of best wheels. To be honest.
She
Bus wheels. They
she
double
came
back.
in. We were going to record an audio book for her book that she put out.
And I told him I didn't want to do the recording. I
I
wanted
told her
somebody else to do it.
beforehand, I was like, you're going to read this because, number one, it's going to help you, but you'll help somebody else. I told her, I said, it's not going to be easy because you're going to want to cry the whole entire time.
Well, apparently it didn't help me, so he lied.
We went through probably 2 hours and she just put it down. She couldn't read it anymore. But that's a testament of the power of where you've been and where you know or you can see or feel that God has brought you from. If you could sit down and read something that powerful and go through and crack jokes and smile and ha ha, nah. But because you went through the things that are in the book, and you can even refer to the book because I'm pretty sure it's still out for order. But just give us a little bit about true transparency, where God has brought you from.
Okay, true transparency. Okay, so the name of my book, of course, is called Some Hurts Are Beyond Tears.
Soon to be a play.
Soon to be a play.
Yes, Lord.
So, and we all know, some people be like, some people don't care, but some people be like, how'd you get the title? Where did the title come from? Well, I actually had this dream, okay? And I had a dream that I was being interviewed by Oprah,
Okay.
right? And so I was on the stage and Oprah was like, Glenette, the tears, where are the tears? And I was like, Oprah, some hurts are just beyond tears. And so that's where, when you in your dreams, it wasn't that deep, but I was like, it's true. Sometimes we go through so much trauma, so much pain that you can't even cry no more. The hurt is so deep that it's beyond tears,
Right.
And so that's where I got the title to my book. I went into foster care at 8 full time. Now, I had been in foster care before for a little while because my father drove us off the side of a mountain once, and they had to rappel down on ropes to pull us out, and they couldn't find my mother. So, of course, me and my younger brother was in foster care for about a week. But when I was 8, my mom had remarried. First, she left us. She left us with an aunt. She said she was going to the store and just didn't come back for 2 years. And then when she did come back, she came back married. Now, and I say this to women that are single, you got to know who you bring around your children.
Yes. Yes.
But come to find out, she knew who she was bringing around her children. So I was molested at 8. I told her, she left me instead of left him. So I was placed in foster home, and it was like, so for the next 10 years, it was like that first molestation put kind of like a target on me.
Yeah.
It just drew perverts. That's how I have to look at it.
Yeah.
It was like every foster home that I was in at the beginning, the first few years, somebody was trying to touch me. I couldn't sleep because somebody was sneaking in, and so that scarred me.
Yeah.
So then I finally, after a while, I had a really good caseworker. She stopped putting me in foster homes that had males in them because it didn't matter. Every time I went to a foster home that had a man in it, they were trying to touch me.
Yeah.
And so, but by this time, I was 14.
Right.
The damage had been done, I was angry, distrustful, whatever it may be. And then when I was 14, I was sexually assaulted, and I got pregnant by that. But people, they only see the end result and not what happened. So for years, it was, oh, she was fast, she was out in them streets, blah blah blah. Nobody ever took the time to ask. And so why am I going to explain myself? You're going to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
You're going to believe that I'm a hoe. You're going to believe that I'm promiscuous. So I might as well be.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was my mindset. A lot of times when you go through other people hurting you, you tend to take up that banner and start hurting yourself because that's all that you believe that you're good for, And so my teenage years, young adult years, I absolutely lost my mind. I was just whatever. I had nobody else cared about me, so I didn't care about myself. Everybody else thought that I was dirt, so that's what I'll be. And so that was my mindset for up until I got to this church when I was 26. And even when I got here, I was carrying all that baggage.
Yeah.
Pastor Laura, they like to say they had to re-raise me. Have you ever tried to re-raise a 26-year-old woman?
My God.
But it was true, because what I saw was garbage.
Yeah.
When I looked in the mirror, what I saw was garbage. I didn't feel I was worth anything. I didn't feel like I had anything to offer. I didn't think I deserved anything other than what came my way.
Yeah.
And it showed up in all aspects of my life. I didn't hold a job down. I'm very smart, but I wanted to go to college. I wasn't able to do that just because it just seemed like every time I tried to better myself, something was knocking me back 20 feet. And so for a long time, I had this much self-esteem. A frog's hair, that's, how fine that is?
Yeah.
That's how much I had. And so it wasn't until I got to be 30 that's when you can come into a church the size of ours and hide a little bit, get lost,
Yeah. No,
Yes,
for
you
sure.
can.
get lost
Yeah.
in the crowd. And I did that for a little while. I got lost in the crowd until I started working with the youth. Now, I said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know what Pastor Allen was thinking when he assigned me to work with them kids.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was all kind of crazy, like literally. And I was a fighter. You couldn't say much to me without me ready to, like what? Yeah, so that was that was my first step towards healing.
Yeah.
I was about 30. Okay. And I started working with the youth. I lived across the street from the church where we were at the time. And I would just be there on Saturdays to open the doors for when they came.
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing anything. I was just, hey, they're coming to do rehearsals. I was just opening the doors. And I was like, oh, they need me to open the doors. So I felt a little
Important,
needed,
yes, definitely.
I had never been needed before. I had nobody ever thought that I was important enough, good enough, or whatever it was to do anything.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they need me to open the doors. Okay. I made sure I was there to open the doors. And that was a constant. Listen, no matter what was going on outside of there, I was there on Saturdays to open that door.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then I did that for maybe a year or so. And our youth pastor, Dorsey Griffin, he decided to go back to school. So now we didn't have any youth pastor. And so pastor made me the youth activities director. And I was like, oh,
More.
wait a minute.
Yeah. Somebody see value in you.
And that's important.
I was like, and I did. I felt important.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't the kind of importance that some people, it goes to their head.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm doing. No, it was more of, oh my goodness, they trust me with something.
Yeah.
Listen,
I like
for
that.
a long time, I would go in. Just segue. I would go into Walmart and maybe not buy nothing and feel guilty about walking out. Because I was like, did I steal? No, I didn't steal nothing. Why they?
Wow.
But
Yeah.
but that was
Wow.
that's where my mind was,
Yeah.
But and so I was planning things. These kids were coming to talk to me. I mean, I know, God saves your soul and everything, but these kids literally saved my life. There were times where I was just like, I don't even want to be here. Why, why was I born? Why, if I didn't think I was going to go to hell, I would have killed myself a long time ago.
Wow.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
I'd drive down the highway and this thought would come in my mind. If you just hit the wheel just that way, you'll just, and it'll be all over. You won't have to worry about anything. But these kids, it's my first group: Denise, Mia, Larissa, Trinika, Ashley, Courtney. They were my first set of kids.
That's crazy.
And they trusted me. They would come in, they would talk to me.
Yeah.
And they knew that it wouldn't go any further unless it was something that was gonna hurt them or hurt somebody else,
Right.
And so I was like, he's trusting me with, kids. Children are they're a commodity.
Yeah.
What you pour into them is what they become.
I like that.
Yeah.
And so children are literally a mirror of you. So I poured into these kids, and I wish y'all could see them now. Listen,
Not too
I did good.
Yeah.
Neil would pray you through the storm, the rain.
Yeah, she will.
But listen, she was another batch. Mia, I'm talking about Mia. She owns the coffee shop over there.
Is that the shop that Kirk Franklin?
Yes.
Kirk Franklin did a video there.
Yes. And so they now I know they parents had a lot to do with it, but come on,
You had some influence.
Yes.
So
And I
influence.
was like, oh my God. But what it did, to make a long story short, it caused me to change the way that I thought, because I was like, these kids are looking at me. They're expecting something from me. I can't be that bad. Or I can't do that because they're looking at me. I can't, and so slowly but surely, my mindset started changing, my life started changing, and I'm a realist. I know that God does these things.
Yeah.
I know that. But when you're not, I've always believed in God, but I never believed that He would do for me what maybe He did for other
somebody
people.
else. Yeah.
So yes, I can say now, God's a keeper, He's a healer, He's this, He's that. But then it wasn't about God.
When did you get to the stage of worthy? Like I'm worthy of this.
So if I'm honest, because of everything, and I don't want to ever blame, I'm not the type of person feel sorry for me because this, and this happened to me.
Right.
But I have to admit in transparency that it is still yet a struggle.
Okay.
It's still yet a struggle. When good things happen to me,
Yeah.
I wait for the other shoe to fall.
Because that's what you're used to.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So there's a situation where, when people want to do good things for you, hey, let me do this for you. My first question is, how long? I mean, why? Why? Because in my mind, I don't want to. So say I want to sow into you. I want to do this for you. But what happens if I make you mad? You might stop. What happens, because that's what I'm used to. If I do something and I make a person upset or they're upset with me, I'm used to people just being like, you know what, I don't want to deal with you no more. And so now, like I said, it's still a struggle because I'm ready at any time when I mess up, because I'm human.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mess up. I'm human. I'm gonna make you mad.
Yeah.
I'm human. I'm not always gonna be
that.
Yeah. I'm not always gonna be on. I'm gonna mess up sometimes. So it is hard for me to believe that you're still gonna be around, that you're still gonna stick, that I'm worthy of, because that was the question.
Yeah.
That I'm worthy of what you say. So it's still hard.
Yeah.
It's a process, and some processes don't stop until you die. Now listen, y'all, I do not want that process to keep on going
that long.
But we're being transparent, and so I'm being honest that it is a process, because there are days that I wake up and I be like, I feel like I'm 14 again.
Yeah.
There are situations that I get in and I feel like, he not gonna do that for me.
Yeah.
He'll never do that for me.
Yeah.
I've done too much.
Yeah.
I've messed up too much.
Yeah.
He's not gonna do it for me. So when I wake up and I'm still breathing, I'll be like, oh. I mean,
you did it.
Shondo.
But even with that, even with that, I'm not even talking about that, because we want to believe that I'm gonna wake up until I'm old. I mean, but it's those other things.
Yeah.
The dream, the career, the spouse, the family, just that.
Will I ever get
that?
Yeah.
Do I deserve that?
Especially if you haven't seen too many healthy relationships.
That's the hard part.
I can count them on my hands how many healthy
that's
relationships I've seen.
That's a battle for a lot of people, because like, I want to love you,
right?
But in 42 years of my life, how many actual couples or marriages have I actually saw that was based on love, that fought through everything and actually made it? Or those that said they loved each other, but whenever the road got rough. I tell people every day, it's not if the storm comes, it's when it comes.
And how long it's going to stay.
How long it's going to stay. Do we have enough built up to withstand that storm? Because sometimes the storm can make you doubt. Like, I tell people, COVID made people realize if they really love their spouse.
Because they had to
Because you was stuck in the house with that nigga every single day.
I totally agree with that.
So you had to wake up and be like, do I really want to? I've been smelling this breath for 20 years. I'm stuck with this for a whole. Do I want to do this even more?
What? Let me tell you something.
Expose relationship.
Let me tell you something. And this is a transparent moment. When I was 35, 36, I'm 51. So that wasn't too long ago. I had never dated a guy in church that was saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. I just dated criminals and thugs. That's what I did.
Ain't no killer.
Well,
She got them killer dogs though, so don't push them dogs.
I didn't have them there. But I dated this guy that was a church person. Now, nobody, you don't just tell everybody your business. And I really liked him. I was crazy about him. But he basically, in so many words, told me I wasn't good enough for him. So there went another blow.
right
Now
back.
this is at 30 something,
Yeah.
36. So you get my little self esteem was up a little bit,
And then he
then
kicked it down.
somebody tells me that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. He has a certain look that he has to maintain in the church, and I didn't fit that. So in my mind, I was good enough to play with, but not good enough to keep around. And so then that just knocked me down back, knocked it, cause so now when I, whatever relationship or friendship, it's like, well, they said I wasn't good enough for them. And they was, so why would I think that I'm good? So that's why I say it's a process.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because even during healing, people come
And change on you.
and so that's what I deal with.
come.
That's what I deal with. So I'm not fully healed yet.
Yeah.
I'm still a process. I'm
I
still
agree.
a work in process.
And I think that's a good reason why God gave, like, we're going to have to include Montez eventually. He's just going to be honorary cast. But, like, I think that's why God allowed me to come here knowing you. But then for us to go to that church that Sunday in Dallas, and for me, I had never ever spoke to Willie because I was like, that nigga bougie. I ain't saying nothing to him. Look at how he always dressed up.
Y'all didn't see that chinchilla the other day.
Oh, that nigga looked like he was coming
Oh,
straight out.
God.
I was like,
Chinchilla. You know what a chinchilla is?
I wanted to do
I
this
don't.
the whole
You
time.
really don't? It looked like a gerbil.
For real?
So how many chinchillas did you have to kill
To
to
get-
get that?
That boy was
I don't
looking
know.
fresh.
Probably a couple.
But God gave us each other because, like, there's sometimes, like, whenever we wake up, even though, a couple months ago, we would text and Willie would get at us the next day.
I
A
would.
busy man.
But there's something that I don't think it matters what happens. Like, we're never always going to agree. And we'll have situations, but I don't believe that there's anything that will actually be able to come up against us that'll be like, okay, nigga, I'm done with you. I'm never talking to you no
As
more.
soon as you say that, that's when the devil likes to send those storms. So I'm gonna need you to not.
No. Send it, because the thing for me is, I'm going to be completely honest. And Willie can agree. About 2-3 weeks ago, me and Willie ain't supposed to be talking right now. I can say that
Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah, true.
Me and Willie
I
are
called
not
him.
supposed to be
Yeah.
nothing right now. But there's something that, even though the storm came, I'm not even going to say the podcast, but the God thing that God developed through this podcast,
Yeah.
it's the thing that was like, go through it. Y'all have y'all fun, do what y'all want to do, say what y'all want to say. But at the end of the day, I'm still God. And if I bought something together, I don't care what the storm is. Have y'all fun, but I'm gonna bring y'all back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
That's
sweet.
powerful.
True transparency. So connecting with the youth when you first came here, and did you feel like that really showed you who you were?
No, not when I first came. All they did literally was, you know how you be hanging on by the rope by the tip of your fingernails and
yeah.
your fingernails is breaking? Well, instead they were like a lifeline.
Yeah.
I like
Instead
that.
of hanging on to the rope, they threw one of those buoys that
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
goes over you and
Yeah.
it holds you up.
float- yeah,
Yeah,
I like
because
that.
I was on my way out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I probably, if I hadn't have found this church, I probably wouldn't be here.
Wow.
You know, I'd be dead in jail somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, but I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So Mia, Denise, Ashley,
Yeah.
Larissa, Trinika, Courtney, who else was it? It was
Courtney Jackson? What?
Lysadra, Mariah, Christian. Those was my babies. They kept me. They held me up long enough
I love it.
for everything else
To wear yourself out. I love that. That's dope.
What did Samson and Coco do for you security wise that no human on earth has
Them
done for
dogs.
Let me tell you, I've had Samson and Coco for the last 7 years. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't had one in a while, but I have what you call night terrors.
you? Okay.
Night terrors, sleep paralysis, anxiety. I have panic attacks in my sleep.
What?
Where I would wake up just screaming. I've had roommates that can
Attest to
attest to the fact that I did a lot of sleepwalking. Sleep running, if you will, like something. I mean, what do they call it when the devil just terrorizes you? I mean, torment. I was I have insomnia now that it's hard for me to sleep. But one night I had sleep paralysis, which basically they have a scientific term for it, but basically your body is paralyzed.
Yeah.
And your mind is like wide awake, and it's like you can't move.
I deal with it now.
You see things that aren't there, which, if you're spiritual, then they there.
Yeah.
But Coco came and roused me up one night. I mean, literally, I couldn't move, and she came and did whatever she did, and then laid there by me for the rest of the night. Never moved. I don't know. It's just something I can't even explain it. It's just something about those two dogs, because I've had animals before, and they've been homeless within 30 days. I've had a fish, and it got thrown in the trash can.
But it didn't die. You just threw it away.
Listen. And so they've been around for 7 years.
Yeah.
So they,
Hang on, Samson and Coco. Hang on.
Hang on.
Keep on keeping
Keep on pushing, Samson and Coco.
they at the end of the day, they are happy to see me.
Yeah.
If nobody else is happy to see me, Samson and Coco is happy to see me. Too happy sometimes.
Oh, they were too happy to see me that night. I picked up the kitchen, the stuff you cook from. They were too happy. I went to go pick up some food.
You told me this story.
And she went to the gate. I thought she was just going to the gate to check on the dogs.
I let them.
No. Next thing I know, these big, huge human beings come running around the truck. I'm thinking to myself, Troy, don't cuss. Troy, don't cuss. The dog came and he brushed up against me. I was like, in the name of Jesus and Mary and Joseph.
If you good people, they like you.
Yeah.
And
I love your dog.
And they were really cool. So
They say they love them, but when I be going on vacation, I can't find nobody to keep them.
Oh Lord.
Well, what had happened was,
I'll be like, I'll feed you. You can stay in my house. Just watch my dog.
That's it.
well, let me do this before you leave, Glenette. I've known you for a very long time. And in the time whenever you were doing the book, you shared with me a lot of other things that went on in your life. And it would be less of me not to pour in to let you know that even from back whenever you started your podcast until now, you may not be there where you want to be, but I see the growth in who you are now than who you were back then. And I commend you because a lot of young women that have gone through the processes that God has had to take you through, some of them didn't make it out. And if they did make it out, they don't have that right mind. Some of them turn to other vices that have become a part of just who they are.
Yep.
If I was sexually abused as a child, and I didn't have anybody in the process to help me get over it, I'm just use my body to get what I get. And where it hurts them, it feels good to them because that's the only thing they know. Growing up, that was probably the only thing you know, but look at you today. Because if I'm not mistaken, and just kick me under the table if I'm saying too much.
You saying too much?
Good. I'm saying it anyway. High school.
High school.
You didn't graduate, right? Now, think about this. You didn't graduate from high school. What do you do for a living right now?
I didn't go to high school.
Okay. Even better. What do you do? What line of work are you getting out of now? But then what are you going into?
So I worked in the emergency room as an emergency medical technician. And now I'm going into sports medicine, orthopedic.
Now let's go back to where you was working in the psychiatry.
Oh, I did 15 years in inpatient psych.
So think about this. With everything that you went through that was supposed to break you, that was supposed to literally leave you feeling like the trash, that was supposed to leave you feeling dirty, unwanted, unneeded, unseen. Look what you have accomplished.
Talk, sir.
Walk heavy.
No, I'm not gonna stop because you need this. We need this. Like you supposed to be working in Walmart.
It wasn't supposed to go this way.
It was not.
No,
Because
facts.
what would have happened if the world, I'm not even gonna say the devil, but if the world would have had their way with you, they would have made sure you never got up. Because even now you have people who know where you've been that still expect you to fail. Which is why sometimes you see yourself up and you be happy and you be ready. But then it's like you said, but what if?
I ain't supposed to be crying on this place.
I mean, that's what today's show is about. We're going to touch somebody. But the tenacity and the fight, because in your mind, or like in my mind, if this was me, I'm like, I've been there and I know what it's like. I'm going to fight to do everything to never have to go back there again.
Facts.
So if you don't see me, don't see me. If I'm not valuable to you, you just don't know my value. If you don't call me by the name that I know my name. I know my identity. If you call me anything other than that, I just don't answer. And because you didn't answer to the identity of everything that everybody wanted you to be, look where you at. Which is why people give you stuff.
What you giving me?
All my love today. But be seen today, my last message to you before you leave is I see you.
We see you.
Definitely.
I'm gonna beat all y'all up for making me cry.
Thank you.
For sure.
But so that's just the first segment. Next, we bringing the one and only Montez, Mr. I Got Next, because he got next. Like, no, literally, he got next. So y'all do me a favor, Glenette. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We absolutely love you.
Love y'all back.
We are going to be right back. Again, we have the Bishop Montez, as I call him.
Bishop.
Not the bishop.
Yeah, he just calls me the bishop. I'm not the bishop.
What that woman called you? She called
Pastor
you
Baby. She called me Pastor Baby.
Pastor Baby.
We got
I can't
Pastor
shake that one
Baby
for
on.
nothing. That's crazy.
Pastor Baby. That's
I'm here
hilarious.
for it. But we'll be right back. This is the intro podcast. I am your boy Tazz. Next to me, I have.
G baby.
You might as well go on and introduce yourself.
Tez is in the building.
Hey.
Pastor Baby.
Pastor Baby in the building.
Pastor Baby. And we got Wille Beamen.
Look, we'll be right back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Listen, I just need about 44 who jump up on your feet, and you've ever lost anything, you've ever gone through situations and circumstances where you were hurt, where you were embarrassed, where you were on the struggle bus, where you didn't know how you were going to make it, and just high five somebody. Said, last night I took an L, but today I bounced back. I wish I had some bounce back saints. I wish I had somebody. I wish I had some saints who know that your bounce back is not predicated upon what folks said about you or upon what they thought about you. Lord, help me here. Jeremiah reminds the children of Israel that they have a bounce back anointing.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you are listening to or watching the Intro Podcast. Today we have new to the family, the one and only
Montez is in the building.
And you know I got my brother all the time, the one and only
Wille Beamen.
Man, we have a wonderful sports segment coming up. Y'all know I know absolutely nothing about sports, but how good the halftime show is. And if I go to the game, how good the nachos is.
Not the nachos.
Hey, them nachos be fire.
That's where you're gonna find me. But and I'll be there for the last half of the last quarter is it? Like
it is a quarter.
Who is calling me all these times? Jesus, call Jesus. Don't call me.
Oh Lord, try Jesus. Don't try me.
But look, so shout out Glenette.
My
baby.
God.
Thank you so much for the previous segment. It kind of got a little high, it got a little emotional, but I think that man, that's what we need. But this is kind of different because we speaking to the brothers now.
Oh, we got the fellas on.
Barbershop talk.
Basically.
Nothing wrong with that.
First Monday Bible study.
Oh, them nights.
Pull up, man. Y'all
y'all gotta pull up.
Fellas, you gotta pull up.
Fellas gotta pull up.
Before we even get into it, somebody going to give them the information for the Bible study for the men. This upcoming
I believe it is every first Monday of the month at 7:30, I believe, man. We're inviting all men to come out. We have an amazing time. Shout out to Bishop Sherman Allen, man, who lays the foundation for us, transparent. We see this man on a whole nother level and just his vulnerability and who he is and just the brotherhood, man, that we've built over these last couple months. So, y'all pull up every first Monday of the month. That's 3201 Perrington Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, 76103.
I blame Montez for getting into the whole on the Monday night.
He told me the story. I gotta share this story.
It's like a Monday night. I was up. I had been here in the studio all day working, and I was like, "Nick, it's time to go home. We need to go home." And Montez was outside. You stand for Bible study? In my mind, I'm like, nigga, no, I've been up here all day. I already go home. I'm sleepy and I'm hungry. I don't have no food.
Oh, my goodness.
Montez said, wait, but they got food tonight. I'm here.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
And I have been hooked every single month.
And they got a TV going for us.
Yes, got the TV going.
I have a newfound respect for Deacon Tony.
My God, I remember.
Deacon Tony has first of all, I ain't know how smart he was until recently. Like that man has that's a brilliant man. If I was not in a situation where I would have had to conversate or talk to him, I would have never gotten the opportunity to know that part of him. But them Monday nights, I've learned at 42 years, I thought I knew me. Bishop done gave me some revelation that I was like, that's why
they be uncovering stuff,
right?
Yeah, like
facts.
And he talks that it's not that these thuses and thous are arts. It's like it's
everyday language.
This is real conversation,
man. So shout out once again to the Bishop Sherman C.G. Allen, and I can't do that without talking to Mother. I absolutely love. I get to work with you all the time, co-pastor Dr. Otanya
Lady
Allen. That lady be praying. Y'all, they're every Thursday, 12 p.m. Otanya Allen Ministry pages on Facebook and on Spotlight TV Network on YouTube. If you bump your toe and you need prayer, I promise you, she got a prayer.
Oh my God,
get you right through it.
Right, that's serious. And since we're gonna talk about it, Reagan. It's one thing for one family member to be anointed
when they all anointed,
but the whole
family. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to me.
I remember when I first met Reagan,
gifts in that building.
before she became this powerhouse she is, to see the growth and to hear the testimony of the things that she's had to go through recently health-wise, but even in the process, to see that voice has not died in any other process. It's ridiculous. And I love the Sunday that the young people sang and Rayleigh led the song.
Yeah, I remember that.
Rayleigh was looking like, y'all don't know how bad I want to sit down. Get this microphone from me. So every time I see her now, I tease her. She like, I ain't doing that no more. You're gonna do it because that's the same thing your sister said, and you see where she at now. So yeah, Montez.
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'm just jumping into it, man. Oh, but yeah, shout out Christ Cathedral Church. I love y'all.
We love you.
Being called to ministry as young as you were, but even before then, as a black man, I'm pretty sure we've all been in situations where the odds as black men have been stacked against us in practically everything that we've ever done. But like, how did you overcome just one? Like, what was one of the situations? How did you overcome? How did your dependency in who you knew God was to you at that time, or did you know? And if you didn't know Him as well as you do now, what gave you the fight to be where you are today?
I mean, outside of just God just constantly pushing me, and I kept getting reminders of what I was supposed to do, you know, through other people, whether they knew me or not. They would always tell me, oh, you're supposed to do this, preaching. You're supposed to be a minister. You're supposed to be a pastor. I've heard bishop. I ain't got one church, let alone be over some churches. So, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But for me, it was, I always had a problem with somebody telling me I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I use that as motivation.
Yeah.
And when the person that tells you you can't do it, you share blood with,
Yeah. The cuts.
it cut deep.
Yeah. Facts.
But that gave me even more motivation to be like, you know what, because you said I couldn't do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it better.
Yeah. I'm turn up.
So just to give y'all a little perspective, I was a year out of high school, and it was time to, all right, now, you either going to work or you going to go to school. What you going to do?
What you gonna do?
So I found a school, and I was super excited. And I called a particular family member. I ain't going to put nobody out there.
That part.
But I called a
good,
family
'cause
member.
I sure would. I put your name out there.
I called a family member, and they were like, I did it. I went to school and worked full time on both and came out with good grades. But I don't know if you can do it. Wait, what?
Yeah.
So it was like, ooh, maybe I can't do it.
Yeah.
But then in the back of my mind, I was like, now I got to show them I can.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
always found myself, even growing up, because I had a single parent household.
I did too.
I grew up in a single parent
Me as
household.
well. Yep.
So I always found myself looking for acceptance. Not even just from men, but just acceptance, period.
In general, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
take me in. You know, talking about teach me something.
Right.
Because I don't know nothing right now. So this is my opportunity, being in school, to do that, and then for somebody to tell me, I don't know if you can do it. Now, was there some trying times in school? Of course, it's college. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory. But I left that school having the best grade in that major. And I was one person away from having to give a speech at my graduation.
Wow.
But you told me I couldn't do it.
Right.
And I almost cleared a 4.0.
Wow.
It was like a 3.96 or something.
My God.
I was right there. It was crazy. But now I can hang my hat on that. And I used even that situation to continue to motivate me to do other things, whether they said I could do it or not. I found myself for the longest on those cookies. I kept hearing, you should sell these cookies. You should sell these cookies. I'm
Right.
like, these people crazy.
Right.
So one day somebody told me, you know what? I'm going to give you the opportunity to sell the cookies at the church. These people don't know me from Adam. How am I about to sell these cookies? It's easy to get away with people I know.
Right.
But how am I going to sell these cookies when these people don't know me? I can usually just get it based off of, you know me, so you're going to support me.
Yeah.
I don't have that option now.
Yeah.
And I sold a ridiculous amount of cookies.
Yes, you did. I remember.
That day and since then. I got repeat customers.
Wow.
When I wasn't even sure if anybody was gonna support me. So I'm so grateful
Yes, sir.
that just being told what I couldn't do has always been my motivation.
During the process, though, like you saw it working out, but how did you move past the times where even though you had the feel that no, this is gonna work, but I just hit a bump in the road, and this is a bump that can probably take me out, but I'm gonna stick to it. What gave you the mental capacity to say, yes, it's hard, but
I would say the good people that I had around me.
that support system.
That support system. It's major, man.
Yeah.
The one thing about a support system, they can push you when you don't want to be pushed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When you don't feel like being pushed,
Yeah.
when you want to lay down somewhere,
Yeah.
when you want to go to bed, because I
Right.
went to work full time and I'm going to school full time and I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
They push you when you don't feel like being pushed.
That's good, sir.
I don't want to get up and do this.
Yeah.
Can I sleep in?
Yeah.
Can I miss a couple classes? Never been that dude, but can I miss a couple classes?
That's
So
good.
it's having that support around you, even to the point where I started getting the attention of people in the school,
Yeah.
and had people even. So, I can tell you about this one situation. So I'm walking to class, right, and there is a counselor, and she looked like us, and she was like, Montez, I know what that means. I was like, what are you talking about? I ain't even said nothing. I had on a white and pink fit. I was fly. I was real fly.
I need this picture.
I had a baseball cap that was white and pink, but it was cocked a little
The
sideways.
side. Yeah. I'm in T.I. You know what I'm saying?
She got stuff. You know? So she was like, I know what that means. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what it means. What are we talking about? So she was referring to the fact that my hat was cocked a certain way. I'm like, my hat is white and pink. This is in no way that I know of at the time affiliated. So and why would I be in school?
Yeah.
In college, nonetheless. So I came and paid for this
Right.
just so I can gangbang?
Right. Facts.
What? No.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be in the streets, I'm gonna be in the streets.
In the
There is
streets.
no education.
Yeah. Facts.
So as a fellow person, why would you even come at me like that?
Yeah.
Have you checked my grade lately?
Yeah.
Does that look like a gangbanger?
Right.
Or are we just going based off appearance? Because if we're going off appearance, then you done messed up.
You done dropped the ball.
Because I don't look like what I've been through.
Wow. That's
I
heavy.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm not who you think I am.
That's heavy.
You might want to get to know me.
Yeah.
Because if you knew me, you wouldn't even came at me like that. And the crazy part, it had messed up my whole day to the point where I walked in my first class and I had this ugly look on my face. And everybody stopped and was like, Montez, what's going on with you?
That's they already know the real you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm already off at this point. I'm usually laughing, talking, joking. I got random stuff I'll say and I have everybody laughing. That's just me. I've been like that for years. But when they notice it, and they asked me about it, I told them, they're like, what? You? Exactly. But that's because y'all know me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like having those people around you that'll continually push when you don't want to be pushed or when other people are trying to push you the other direction.
Yeah. One thing you said at the top, there's a lot of young men that'll watch this, or either men our age now that grew up in single parent homes. How did that affect you growing up in manhood, not seeing something that you desire to be?
It made it, I would say, at least 10, 20 times harder because there was no blueprint.
Yeah.
My other friends in school got blueprints.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they came to school bragging about
Yeah.
Had them in the stands with them. What you talking about?
Blueprint.
Not
every
came to
single
school.
game. Yeah.
They was part of the PTA.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
They parent teacher conferences, they showing up. We're there, both of them there.
Yeah.
And here I am with my mama.
Yeah.
No disrespect to my mama, because you know my mama,
Mom bad.
I don't know how she did it with us two.
Yeah.
Because my goodness. So yeah, she definitely held it down, did everything she had to do, went without, to make sure we had it. But to get back to the point, to have to continue to see that. And then, for whatever reason, people didn't really move out my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I grew up with the same friends.
All the time.
Yeah.
And seeing the same people.
Yep.
And they constantly showed up on both sides. And it was like, okay, well, I can gravitate to them, just to kind of see what's going on, but you never really get close enough to see the blueprint. You see the finished product, or you see it in process, but you never see the blueprint. So here I am growing up, trying to make it up as I go.
Yeah.
And then me and my brother are 5 years apart. That was the closest thing I had to a father for a long time. At least in-house, let me say that. So then he goes off to the military. Now I'm a teenager, and it's like, ooh, it's getting real close.
Yeah.
But now I ain't got no blueprint. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely tough, and I know it was only God that I made it as far as I did, along with the pieces that he put around me to kind of at least let me look in. And it wasn't until I was 13 where a man finally came into my life and was like, come here. Run with me here. Run with me there. And I had no idea why this man was coming to pick me up. Running errands with him that I ain't have nothing to do with. I can't put no money on it. I can't feed myself, but you kept picking me up.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why am I that important? What are you trying to show me?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I learned some lessons and learned some names of some things that I would have never known.
Yeah.
Had it not been for that man that kept picking me up. So shout out to Pastor Overseer William O'Neill.
Yes,
because he is that guy for me and will always be that guy for me.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
No.
I have a question. So my question would be, if you could go back and speak life to the Montez who was raised in this single parent home, what would it be and why?
I would simply say keep showing up.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out. Just keep showing up. I know it don't look good right now. It don't look like you got the best deck. You don't got the best cards in your hand. But just keep showing up.
Showing up. I love it. I love that, bro.
No. Whew. What was the strength that your mom showed you?
She had a whole household on her back.
Yeah.
And in conversations with her, she wasn't necessarily highest paid.
Yeah.
First off, because she's a female.
Yeah.
And she's black.
And she black. Yeah.
You're not going to get the best cards in that deck either. So even though she was fighting her own struggles, she still was able to provide and make sure that me and my brother had what we needed. She might have had to borrow. She might have had to do whatever she had to do to get to it, working extra hours, whatever it was. She did that, made it happen, and still tried to instill certain manly principles in us, even coming from a female.
Yeah.
A man didn't tell me to open the door for a female. It was my mama.
Wow.
Same here.
I've been doing that since I was 7, at least. I'm running in front of everybody, trying to get the door for whoever's coming, including my mama.
Wow.
And it would leave people's mouths wide open. And it didn't matter if they were my color.
That's good.
It was things like that she showed me that I can attribute to her.
Yeah.
Because she was the one that was there.
What about your relationship growing up with your brother?
Whew. So,
Wayne.
because me and Wayne were 5 years apart, it was a struggle.
Of course it was.
Because, if you do the math, I'm in elementary school at some point,
He's in junior.
and my boy is in high school
Oh yeah.
because we 5 years apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
So who wants to hang out with their elementary school little brother?
Facts. We don't have nothing in common
Wow.
That ain't even cool at that age.
at all.
That's crazy.
get rid of your little brother.
Yeah.
So we gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah.
So we really, it wasn't always like that. There was sometimes we kind of mingled as friends. Like we mingled our friends together and we all hung out because we all played football.
Yeah.
So that was really our common ground was football. Other than that, hey, you go your way, I'll go my way until I need a quarterback or a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then we can make it happen. Yeah. So, but as far as the relationship with my brother, it was definitely rocky. My mom stayed breaking up fights.
Yep.
My God.
Yep.
And my brother was always, no lie, probably at least 200 pounds heavier than me.
Golly.
At least. And I didn't care.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean? Big day or harder to fall, right? You know?
Yeah.
You're right. That's what they say.
That's what they say. I don't know if it was true, but that's what they say.
That's what they say.
So just to have that dynamic is like you close, but you just far enough to where it's like we couldn't really bond like that.
Yeah.
But the day my brother went off to the military, I was talking noise up until that day. I was like, oh, I can't wait. Your boy about to have his own room.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be spectacular. The day my brother left, I was crying like a little baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting for all those years. My mama breaking up fights for all those years. And now my brother is out the house, gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Y'all ain't tell me it was gonna be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then one day this was actually gonna happen. Now I feel some type of way. Nobody told me this.
Yeah.
My mama tried to tell me, but I was like, whatever, mama. Shoot, I get my own room. I ain't tripping.
Yeah. This is my space.
He'll be back whenever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To follow that up, when Wayne goes to the military, who was the next man in line to fill that gap to make sure that you continue to grow?
Oh, that was the overseer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was definitely overseer. And then a lot of the other brothers at the time that were going to the church kind of took me under their wing, but nobody was there like overseer. Man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about middle of the week, calling me, checking on me,
Yeah.
talking for hours.
Yeah.
He's driving a handicap bus for Arlington and was still calling to make sure I was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Any regrets?
Whew.
The human side of you, any regrets?
No, I don't think so. No. No. I think the only thing I would say is probably just push myself harder than I did. But that's it. That's just the perfectionist in me.
Yeah. My last question would be, with everything that you've been through, what do you know about yourself now that if you would have known then, the process wouldn't have been as rough?
I guess there's a few things there. That's a package to undo right there. But one of the main things is that I was gonna be okay.
Because we've seen a lot of times, especially whenever we're young, we don't know.
We don't.
It seems like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, and then growing up, I was always in the books. I was in the, watching TV or whatever. So all you would hear was all these different statistics
Right.
Yep.
about young black men.
Right.
I had people tell me to my face it'd be a miracle if I made it to 18. And I'm like, hey, is it that bad out here? But I don't know because I didn't have that figure close to me telling me, hey, be mindful of this. Be ready for that. These people aren't going to like you. These people may have something to say to you. I was getting pulled over walking. Literally walking.
Wow.
Probably from about 13 to about 25 or so. Just pulled over walking. Not messing with nobody. Nothing. People just, what are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you coming from? But the whole time it's like, I don't have no weapon.
Yeah.
But all I'm seeing is all of yours on you. And you stopping me and I don't know nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get home.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to my destination. But for whatever reason, I'm a threat to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been through that.
Yeah.
And had to figure that out and how to navigate that on my own. Because in the moment, you're there by yourself.
Yeah. You can't phone a friend.
I can't phone a friend. They ain't going to let me pick up a phone.
Yeah.
Can you call my lifeline? No.
No.
never knowing if this was going to be it for me, because in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, for whatever reason, I might not make it to 18. Is this going to be my reason?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what they was talking about, but is this going to be my reason?
Yeah.
You may get locked up, because we all do. We get locked up. That's what we
That's
do,
what we do.
apparently. You may end up on drugs, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May become an alcoholic because stress.
That's
That's what we do. Yeah.
There was never, you could go to college. You could go and get a job. You can be a business owner. Nobody ever shared that with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Big facts.
Nobody ever thought that of me. It was always, you got to battle these statistics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
I've been
think that's a battle for
Go ahead.
pretty much all black men now. We were never ever told. The only thing a lot of even young black boys now are being told, you can either be a rapper or a football player or a basketball player.
Yep. That's what we hear.
We not worried about your interest in tech, your interest in any of the STEM educational courses or nothing.
Yeah.
You gonna either be a rapper, football player, basketball, or a drug dealer.
Incarcerated, that's it.
And
That's your options.
if you don't have nobody in your ear to tell you anything different, if that's all you hear growing up,
It's tough.
what do you have to fight to be anything different? So because you had a Pastor O'Neal, like,
I feel bad for the ones that don't.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. And like for me, at 40 plus years old, my Pastor O'Neal right now is a bishop.
Yeah.
That's my. When I was in the hospital with Bell's palsy and all the other stuff that was going on, and I felt like I was almost dead. I wasn't even a member of this church, bro.
That's crazy.
I had
What?
been to, I had never even been to this church until I got out the hospital.
Wow.
Well, this church period, because I had never ever. I knew of Dad through other churches that I played and sang at.
Yeah.
But I had never joined, never shook a hand or nothing. I done some work with Mom a couple years ago, Brandon and whatever. But like when I was in the hospital, I promise you, every time I posted something on Facebook, not Troy, we praying for you. Son, we praying for you.
Wow.
Mom would
That'd be
inbox me. Son, Bishop been asking about you. I'm thinking to myself, y'all don't even know me.
Yeah.
I'm not a member of y'all church. Y'all don't know nothing about me other than what y'all see on here. And the thing was, they didn't judge me off of what they saw,
Yeah. That's big.
which allowed me to be vulnerable enough to not just be myself, but take the lessons that's being instilled, because Bishop is one of the nicest people that you'll ever talk to. But whenever he have to, that right there. But he does it with so much love. And
Yeah, I know you done seen it, brother. You close.
it took me to have to learn. Yeah, you are close.
Yeah, you really close.
Like every single Sunday, you dressing like him and
every
everything.
single Sunday. I don't know about dressing like him, because that man there,
That
Jesus.
man be dressing.
Yeah, that man be fly. Bishop be fly.
One day when I grow up.
Nah, but which is how I feel whenever I see you. But you know, just like I wanted this, and you wouldn't even give this to me. But like it took me all these years to be able to have somebody to correct me, and I didn't feel like the correction was damnation. To where I'm able to accept whenever Bishop was like, son, that was the wrong way to do this. And I'm thinking to myself,
He does it with love.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me, son? And like he never calls me Troy, son.
Regardless of what you did.
And whenever he says son, I'm like,
That's powerful. Yeah.
that makes the grown man not dumb down and become a little boy for me, but it makes me like, as a little boy, I never was called son by a man before.
I was just about to ask you what that did for
Yeah.
you to hear.
I was about to hone in on that
no
too.
matter what you did, good, bad, or indifferent, you were always son.
That's powerful.
Always. Like, I had never had a guy, like, my mom raised 4 boys all by herself. So the
Respect.
only son, literally the only the only man that called me son, and I actually felt it was son from a good place, is Bishop. Because whenever I was playing for other churches or traveling with people, no lie, told the testimony 1,000 times before on previous shows, the preachers that I was traveling with, wonderful, anointed and lay hands and raise $1 million offerings and get back to the hotel room. I only got a 1-bed hotel. You sleeping in the bed with me tonight?
My God.
Yeah. So for me, it was like, and whenever I tried to reach out for help from the people who I was living with at the time, because I was living with my pastors, I told them, but because this man is so anointed and he's this and he's that, I'm on my sofa, because I had completely left the church. When I told them that, they didn't believe me.
Of course not.
They brought the man back to my hometown, and this nigga and the pastor's son knocks on my door. I'm in revival. You coming to play, nigga? If you don't get the hell out of my face. So that made me like, oh my God, I'm done with you and everybody that looks like you will have your name. Because
That's heavy.
y'all tell me homosexuality is wrong. You tell me I'm not supposed to be gay, but every preacher that you send me out with is sleeping with me. And because they knew what my upbringing was as a kid, not having a lot, what they would do is, and I don't know if this is a form of grooming, but what they would do is buy me lavish suits and shoes and this and that. Pay me to play, but every single night, it's time to go to bed. So everything that looked like God up until last year was like,
Yeah.
y'all niggas y'all gonna leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
Because the God that y'all saying y'all represent, I don't want him. I don't want to know about him.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. This what it looks
leave me
like.
alone.
Yeah.
I don't care how much love you showed me or how valuable. I don't want to hear it, because you turn around right after you tell me how valuable I am and tell me, let's go to Houston because I have to preach. And then, no. So whenever Bishop came into my life last year, it was like, because of how we primarily met through other ministries, he already knew I sang. He knew I played keys or whatever. And through the work that I'd done with co-pastor with Mom, like years ago, they knew what I'd done in ministry. When I came here the Sunday after I got out the hospital, up until like three weeks later, they didn't care what I did. We know you do this, and this, but you ain't ready to do none of this, and this. Sit down. And I was like, does that mean I'm not good? Am I doing all the wrong things? They was like, no. You're used to people only wanting you for that.
That's good.
Let me show you something different.
That's good.
I have a full band over here, so you ain't playing nothing. My band is this. My daughter's leading praise and worship. We have a bad choir. We have a bad choir director. We don't need you for that. We got Inga upstairs that's controlling all this stuff. We have a sound man that's running the digital board. We don't need you for nothing. Sit down. I was like, this is new. And even in sitting down, I still got the phone calls, the text messages, the invites to whatever. And like Glenette said before, in the back of my mind, I was like, how long is this going to last before they figure out that this is this and that is that?
That shit gonna drop.
And they be like, because of this and that, we decided to, like the job said, go a different route. We're going a different way. Yeah. And I'm going up on a year. And I tell you, I have been more prosperous in my personal business in a year. And I wouldn't even say it's necessarily because of the quality of the work, but the connection of the people.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Because I also learned, don't tell everybody that you've done something for. Because just because they was good for you, don't mean that reputation. But when I told, like, people see on Mom, whenever I started doing stuff for her, she would literally say on her Thursday prayers, my manager or whatever title she gave me, creative director Troy. And then people started realizing who Troy was. And it wasn't the Troy that they knew. It was the reintroduction, because people value Mom's words.
Allow me to reintroduce
myself.
That one. So whenever the credibility of her voice in who I was made people think of me different. Whenever Dad gets up on a Sunday and he say, I just want to thank Brother Troy, and he gonna be the next Tyler. I'm like, I just got off the floor from Todd Hall.
Right.
You're gonna put me right back on the floor again. Or just with the stuff that they have entrusted me with and have invested in to make sure that I'm a better person. Like, I'm so used to, like Glenette said, nobody want to believe in the vision because the vision didn't profit them.
That's good.
Mom and Dad was like, they got theirs. They just trying to make sure their kids have something now. And that was I'm just not used to that. But it was like, Mom was like, well, look, you one of us now. Which is why I love coming to this church, and then we'll break to a commercial because we're going to take Willie down this long loophole, this wormhole. The one thing I love about this church, and I tell everybody that I talk to and I talk about on social media, I don't care if I see, let's say, Pastor McIntosh.
Okay.
I can see her and talk to her 20 times in the service. At the end of every single time I see her and talk to her, brother, I love you. No, I use Pastor Laura. I don't care if I'm in church or on the phone and we texting. At the end of every conversation, I love you.
Yeah, that's her.
And it's not the love to where like, oh my God, you love me, but what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Because they don't need nothing from me.
Pure love, yeah.
Yeah, genuine love.
And that's the thing that make me want to drive all the way from North Dallas.
My God.
Jesus.
North Dallas, 635, which is a complete construction zone.
It is. It always is.
It's always. Traffic is always.
Traffic, man. 635.
It's there.
635 is terrible.
But like, that's the kind of love that make me want to get up and drive, because what if the only love you receive is from your church? The only attention you receive is from the people who have no relation, no blood, no nothing. But that's where you get the will to live another 24 hours, because at least somebody see me. It's my spill.
Oh my
So,
God.
I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Your turn. It's your turn.
So, you talked about whether a person knows this Troy or that Troy. Troy, your pastor, Troy now. Have you accepted new Troy and let old Troy go?
Yes and no.
When did that happen?
I'm like Glenette. I'm in the process.
Okay, I can respect that.
Because I have these people in the new Troy's life that pushes the new Troy to be this. But because some of the people that are still here are people that are in my family. those voices
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what they
And
know
them voices
about
ain't
me
going
from
nowhere.
back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you do sometimes. Those voices is always,
Yeah. Pulling the old
Right.
Troy.
what do you remember when?
Yeah.
Or how do you think you're going to be able to?
Yeah. But
I
you used to
have-
do this.
I have people in my life, and it's going to be in the play anyway. I have family members right now who won't even deal with me because of my lifestyle. Just put it out there.
Okay.
I have people who won't deal with me because I don't have the traditional. I had a family member told me, "You always worried about money. Just get you a job at McDonald's." When I first moved to Dallas, Texas, I lived in Frisco. My auntie drove me to Wendy's to put in the application. The manager at Wendy's looked at me and said, "Sir, I can't hire you." I'm like, "Why?" Because anything on this resume from Louisiana, you worked at the courthouse. Like, you're overqualified.
Yeah, you're definitely overqualified.
Yeah, facts.
So it's funny how strangers can see that you overqualified, but the people that are close to me would like, at least go do this.
Wow.
This don't want me because they already say they can't pay me my worth.
Right.
So I hear these voices in the new Troy life every single day. But whenever I close the door, like I made a post a couple of weeks ago, whenever I close the door and it's just me inside my home, and I turn the TV off, I turn everything off, you still have these voices that are always going to be in my life. That's like, you have a little bit accomplished, but
So-
go work at Walmart.
I'm gonna say that they can be in your life and not necessarily be in your head.
This is true.
So
I like that.
and that's part of the process as well. So I'm not knocking you at all. It's just remember that they can be in your life and not
But
necessarily
I'm guilty
be
for
in your
being a
head.
people pleaser. To where because they are what they are to me, whenever they've said it, and I want to keep them around, I agree with it.
You get to choose the people that you please, though.
Now I can.
Yeah.
But because I pleased everybody else for so long, just because I wanted that feeling for somebody to see me,
And they still don't.
and they still don't. I was married and miserable and was trying to leave a marriage and was told, you need to stay married because this is what God wants. I'm like, cool, whatever. It wasn't until I found myself sitting at Walmart, not the one off of Hewlin, but the one that is a little bit further out, in my car with tequila in one hand, something else in another hand, drinking, hoping that I would drink enough to kill myself.
Wow.
It's because I'm miserable, and I'm telling y'all, I'm miserable. I want to get out of this. But y'all so concerned about what the aesthetics is and what the family is going to say and what y'all church friends and family is going to say that y'all encouraged me to stay in what was supposed to kill me.
Sheesh.
It wasn't until I woke up the next morning and I was in downtown Fort Worth in the insane asylum. I woke up, sobered up or whatever, and I'm looking at these people. I'm listening to them. I'm seeing their activity. I'm like, God, I'm nothing like these folk. But if I keep on trying to do what everybody else wants me to be, I'm going to end up just like these folk.
Yeah.
And a light bulb clicked. You either going to do what's going to make you happy. Their feelings are your future. Chose my future.
That boy walking heavy. I love it. I love it.
I'm alive. Yeah. That part. Whew. Shout out to Dr. Pepper. Y'all can endorse me because this is all I
Shout
do.
out to
Shout out. That boy on one. My God.
Anyway, look, this is the intro. I am enjoying this particular show and the discussions. Shout out to the new cast member. I'm gonna try to bring him back we gonna try every week. But we gonna whisper it so he don't hear me say it, y'all. Hey, I can hear you. You can hear me. I can hear you. Yes. Can you see me? Be like Brown. Can you see me?
Sir, that Dr. Pepper bottle is not big enough, sir.
But look, this is the intro podcast. I am so excited and so glad to have Montez on with us on today.
Yes, sir.
I literally just walked up to him last Sunday. Was like, "I'll see you next weekend."
Man, he kind of strong-armed me a little bit.
That's funny.
And then he didn't tell me all the other stuff I was going to be participating in, but I'm enjoying myself, and I appreciate the invite,
Absolutely.
sir.
Yes.
Definitely look forward to being back with y'all. If it's next week or whenever, you know, let
This
me know.
is great, man.
Next week,
Keep me in the
before that.
books. I'm here.
But next up is the one and only. I absolutely love.
Oh,
And
man,
after, you know, stuff, I understand why I love my brother so much. Number one, I want to raid his closet.
Oh my God.
Number two, I still need Tamika to make me that dish that she made for you that you posted on, that you sent us in the group chat whenever she cooked that meal.
I didn't get that invite either. Man,
Oh my God.
I need her to cook that dish for the cast. I would buy all of the ingredients because it looks
My
so
Lord.
good.
I put it in the chat, in our chat
Yeah.
a while back. Oh, those chicken thighs.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
You
the
was sharing with
Lord.
everybody else and didn't share
Oh,
with me.
Like, I need her to do that.
You have had some of Tamika's deep plates.
No, but I ain't had no chicken thighs, though. We ain't talking about the deep plates. We talking about the chicken thighs now.
Tamika, what's up, sis? We
What up, sis?
absolutely
It's
love
funny.
you.
Love you.
But next, we have the pleasure of talking to, I'm going to call him what I know him, the minister,
Oh Lord.
the preacher. This Negro preached and prayed.
My God.
That's this Negro right here. This right here, like they say in that movie. It's about to be good. Next up, we have the one and only Wille Beamen, Willie Strickton, the mimer, the dancer, the prayer, the tap dancer, and all that other
This guy does everything.
right here on the intro podcast. We'll be right back in just a minute.
And we are back from my little break. Had to, you know, refresh and all that good stuff.
Refresh.
And this is your boy.
What's your name, Mel?
Montez is my name. I think we're going to go with T on this one.
Come on.
Hey, come on, T. I like that.
And I get to introduce my guy. Man,
Yeah.
I've known this guy here for a long time. And he's
Yeah.
been through so much over the years, man. I always talk to him, tease him about it. And just the fact that he's always been an inspiration to me. Just watching him go through different things and continuing to be himself.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, I'm sure y'all know him by now. But, yeah, this is my guy, Mr. Wille Beamen. Willie Strickland in the building.
We here, baby. What's happening? What's happening?
Just going along with, you know, everything that has been discussed. First of all, thank you for the last segment of your transparency.
Yes, appreciate that, bro.
We having folk this year. I don't know if y'all gonna have a lot of comedy shows at the podcast because Dad got me Wednesday with the responsibility of the church or the business of the church. So I don't know. We may be shifting a little bit. We'll still give y'all the first half of the show where we'll like talk about each other or whatever. Give y'all entertainment news, but for the most part, yeah, I want to be able to have somebody walk up to me in Walmart and be like, "That show helped me," or somebody send me an inbox on whatever social media and be like, "That clip that y'all post that saved my child life," or
That's
whatever
the
the
goal.
case may be. So I wanted to bring a collective group of individuals. Glenette, thank you for coming in
No doubt.
to share some stories of things that we've been through and how God has brought us through it in the process. Because a lot of people don't know that there's a way out. Some people are going through things, and you're probably right at the edge of giving up because no one has ever been transparent enough to let you know I've been there. And I think that's the one thing I don't like about social media. You only get the finished product.
Wow. It's funny you said this, bro. I had just said this to myself as I was going to the restroom.
Yeah.
But keep going. That's
Like,
crazy.
You only get the finished product. You only get the glitz and glam of everything.
I just
Don't
said
nobody
that.
show you, like, don't nobody do a documentary on, I just started this in 3 years down the line, it's just like Beyonce, I woke up like this. No, you didn't. You lying. There's a process. But some people don't like to show the process because the process ain't cute, or people might not like it, or people might not want to be down because don't nobody want to go through nothing.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to lose nothing. So instead of showing what I had to go through, because if I show the process, I may detour somebody from wanting to become whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you cheat them because they get in thinking, I'm going to get in front of a microphone today and tomorrow I'm going to be T.I.
Yep.
Dad, I remember when I first came to the church, Dad shared a testimony how somebody was talking to him and was like, I want your anointing. And Dad was like, you want my anointing? Well, be ready to lose this. Be ready, da. And whenever you look at that, it makes you want to be like, no.
I'm good.
But it's the process that people don't show. That's why I don't want to be like nobody. I'm sorry. Because I don't know, like, the prophecy came forth that I can be what God has gifted me to write plays and movies. I love the Tyler Perry title or the likeness of what God is going to do with me. And although we kind of have had the same road, Tyler done been through some stuff that we don't know about.
Of course.
So I don't want to be like you, Tyler. I love you, and I just watched your documentary yesterday.
Man, that documentary. Yeah, you love that documentary.
I watched it about 3-4 times.
He does, bro. Most of the time we in here,
that's what I'm
he got it on, yeah.
But I don't want to have to go through everything that you went through. So instead of being like you, make me, but let people see that I saw you in what I do.
Yeah, that's good.
But Willie,
my guys.
So I'm still fairly new to you. And if I look at now, I don't see the hurt. I don't see rejection. I don't see give up. So for me, I see what social media see. A finished product that is there.
Lord, why you doing this to me?
And it look good, don't it? It look good.
All I see is what social media is showing to young people today, a finished product. But what's the process for Willie?
Woo, where do I start? If I could describe my life going back to, I'll probably say teenage years, high school, I will put it in the context of one of the Kendrick Lamar's album titles, which was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because being in high school, I was the guy, kind of like what you guys were mentioning, trying to please people. Yeah. Being a people pleaser, trying to fit in these certain crowds, trying to fit in with the cool kids because they cool and they got this and they got the nice Jordans and they got the nice ride and they got the women and all those different things. And that's why I found myself for a long period of time fitting in with these guys, not knowing the cost on the back end. Yeah. One thing that I always hear from my brother, well, one of the guys I follow, Dr. Darius Daniels, is he always says we get so caught up on the front end of the blessing that we miss the back end of the process. Yeah. And so, going through high school, trying to fit in, and that's really where I discovered my gift to dance. But at that time, I'm using it in the wrong way, in the wrong manner. I could share the story. So I was I think this was my junior year. I was at South Hills right off of 20 in my cart. I was there my freshman through junior year.
Oh, you Fort Worth for
I'm Fort Worth bound, baby. Born and raised. Funky town, bam, you did. Yeah, so I'm in South Hills, and most people know me for my dancing abilities, from pep rallies to talent shows to the clubbing days. Like, you still dance? People say ask me to this day, bro, you still dancing? I'm like, yeah, man, it'll never leave me, whether it be spiritual or secular. That's just who I am. It's my DNA. And so we preparing for this talent show, man. And I had family members who came out. My grandmother, rest in heaven, Betty Price, who came. My Uncle Barry, who's one of my closest uncles to this day. Family members coming out. And so one of our ideas was we had chairs on the stage. And one of the songs that we danced to was R. Kelly's Slow Wine for Me. And so we preparing for this. Yeah. Yes, we was. Yeah, so we preparing for this, and the time come when we getting ready to do this thing, and we had it strategically planned. We had all the chicks that we was gonna pull on stage on the front row. They get on the stage, they get in their chair, and we just we getting it in, baby. And in the midst of that, bro, they close the curtains. Everything shutting down. And so I'm like, oh, I got my grandparents here. I got my uncle here. This is embarrassing.
Hella embarrassing.
And so when we get suspended, man, for 3 days, and yeah, it was a huge disaster, man. But through all of that, I like, man, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and keep, trying to perfect the gift in that way. But a lot of stuff came from trying to fit in with the wrong people. And if I can go deeper, it came to popping X pills. I'm talking about I couldn't even go to the club to have fun without popping an X pill. And mind you, so when you think of X pills, there's uppers and there's downers. And so most of the time I was popping the uppers because of, my energetic, abilities already. I already been a natural born dancer. So you talking about popping X pills, you talking about smoking weed on top of that. You talking about drinking on an empty stomach, rarely eating, going to the club and doing all these different things, trying to fit in with the cool kids, not knowing mentally, emotionally that it's damaging me. I'm trying to avoid it because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fit in with these guys, doing all of that, multiple women, thinking that's cool. Going back to the root of everything, what you guys just mentioned earlier, growing up in a single parent home, didn't really have my father there to raise and pour into me. Now with that dynamic, so I'm the oldest of four. It's me, then my sister Jasmine, she's 2 years younger than me. So we grew up in the same household. So we were really close. We still close to this day. And so my other two siblings, Quentin, he's about 4 or 5 years younger. And then my baby sister Peaches, she's at the bottom. I think she's like 27, 28. So we all have the same father, but Quentin and Peach had their own mother.
Right.
And so it wasn't like we all grew up in the same household. So there was still still a gap, I guess, in a sense. Us trying to, stay collectively together and grow up. And so growing up in a single parents household, like Montez mentioned, I have my mother, strong woman. Mama, I love you, Brenda K. Strickland. She's always been there, still there to this day. And her favorite phrase is, no matter how old you and your sister Jazz get, you'll always be my children. Yeah. You'll always be my kids. Because at the end of the day, I'm older than y'all.
Yep.
Is that what she always say? And so, man, I'm so grateful, man, for my mother, Brenda K. Strickland. I love you. And so, yeah, she was the rock. She was the backbone. But even in the midst of all that, getting in the fights because I'm with these people, thinking that it's cool. And then even in the midst of all that and going to all these different clubs and going out every weekend, I'm seeing friends of mine ending up in jail, ending up in prison. I'm seeing friends of mine getting these penitentiary sentences. I'm seeing friends of mine being shot and killed. I'm seeing cousins of mine getting in these gangs and all these different things. And so transition, I would probably say a few years later, going back to high school, I go to ODY, which is right here off 20 in campus. I went there my senior year because my sister wanted to go there all 4 years. I'm like, hey, let's do it. And so I go there and trying to find my way in, kind of like how it's almost like, even though there's a crowd of people, even though you're in a room, you still can feel alone.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes.
And so even though I'm around all these crowd of people, I'm at a new school. It's a new environment. I'm trying to feel my way in. I'm like, okay, what does this look like? And then even in the midst of that, we had Hurricane Katrina. So now you got people from New Orleans coming to Texas. We got this gold dynamic. We fighting all day, every day, because they're trying to take over our territory. And so you got all this commotion and chaotic things going on. And so I get there, man. And I went back to what I already knew. I'm like, man, I'm going to keep dancing.
Yeah.
I'm going to find my way in somehow. And so, that's how they got to know me at ODY. True story. Bobby Green, who was a part of the Neon Flame ministry, who still is, and him and Brandon. That's actually how I was introduced to Bobby. Word got around high school that I was a better dancer than Bobby. I'm sorry, brother. I mean, we had this conversation already.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. And so we literally had a dance battle on the hallway to see who was the better dancer. Mm-hmm. And that's how our connection started. Mm-hmm. And so we formed that. And then as we graduated high school, I think this when the pivot happened for me. I believe if it wasn't for Brandon Agent, Bobby Green, Sharice, Chris, Christy, all of us who formed the Neon Flame Mind Ministry, I don't know if I'd be here standing. Yeah. I don't know if I would be on this path. Yeah. I don't know if I would be doing what I'm doing. I would probably still be hanging around these suckers, these knuckleheads, either in prison, either with multiple babies, either just doing things that I had no business doing. But I'm so grateful, man, that God allowed me to connect with Bobby and Brandon and form the Neon Flame Mind Ministry, man. And that's when I really, really found my love for the Lord. And in that process, not having that dominant male figure, my overseer, William O'Neill, would probably be, rest in heaven, Pastor Paul Gardner, who had the church off of M20, the filling station. And so I was introduced to him through Bobby Green because Bobby had a connection with him. He's having Bible studies at his home. Mm-hmm. They don't have a building yet. They're trying to start their ministry. I'm getting to know him. I'm getting to know his wife, Aunt Kalisha, rest in heaven, who passed away 2 years later after him. He passed away in 2020. She passed away in 23. But yeah, I'm getting to know them. I'm growing with them. And that's when I really gave my life to the Lord in their living room, man. I remember just breaking down in tears and just letting it all out. If Bobby would tell you, like, man, you had a demon in you. I probably did, bro. I don't know what was going on in that moment, man. I'm screaming, I'm shouting, snotty nose, tears, just mixed emotion, man, in his living room, man. So I was so grateful to move forward in that space and build a connection with Pastor Paul Gardner. Even before he got the building, he gets the building. Me, Bobby, and Brandon were helping them, put it together, because this ministry is work. We know that. It takes a lot. And so, I was grateful for his relationship. And then from there, Neon Flame took off. He gave us opportunity to minister, in his home. He pushed us. He stretched us. He would be up there in the church with us late nights putting together these pieces. We dog tired. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing is about the process, people see how gifted I am now, but they don't know. So when we first started Neon Flame Mind Ministry, me and Bobby were working morning shift jobs. So we getting off around, I would say 2:30, 4:30ish. Brandon worked at an elementary school as a janitor at the time, right here off of 35. I can't remember the school. He worked the night shift. He would go in from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. And so while he's going to work, we getting off and we sleep. Mm-hmm. And so when he get off of work, like, hey, it's time for practice. Negroes get up. Yeah. So we getting up with attitudes because we got to be at work the next morning. Yeah. And so we meet with Brandon and Chris and Sharice had an apartment off of Hewlin. Their mama, shout out to your mother, Chris, for allowing us to use her space. They had a what comes in the apartment? The fitness room. Okay. So she would always give us a key to the fitness room if nobody was in there. We would use that room to practice. I'm talking about we wouldn't leave. If Brandon's getting off at 12, 12:30, we meeting him. We wouldn't, if we were really, really trying to get something done, we wouldn't leave until 4:35 a.m. in the morning. Knowing that me and Bobby got to get up and go to work. Sacrifice, process, perseverance, all of that, man. So people see the work that I'm doing now, but they don't understand what we all did back then to make this work. Yeah. So going through all that, man, it was a sacrifice. I'm talking about attitudes, cussing each other out. Yes. Like, I don't want to be here. You just got off work. You full of energy. We tired.
I'm just working. I'm tired, and you been off working. You just lallygag.
Exactly, man. So. But yeah, if I can say the process, I believe that's where all of that started, man. That's what gave me the tenacity, the driving force, the passion to develop my craft, develop my gift in that capacity. That's why I go so hard, man. And I love what I do. And even though God had to sit me down for a season, I mean, most of y'all know I had the foot surgery back in 2023. And that process is hard.
Yeah.
You know, feeling alone, dealing with depression, dealing with loneliness, dealing with Lord. And I think I shared this on one of our previous shows. I was grieving as if I almost lost a loved one. Yeah. I was grieving the loss of life. Yeah. Asking God, will I ever get back to what I was again? Yeah. And so, that's the context of where everything came from, man.
In that process of wondering, will I ever gain it back? What made you, or what gave you the reassurance to stay focused on a goal, even though that goal looked like it was all the way down the street?
Whew. I would say my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is about to be my next question.
Yeah, my wife.
You have a thing with living rooms. You gave your life to God, crying and snotting in the living room.
Right. He's stupid.
You got married
in the living room.
In the living room.
Let's keep it going.
Like,
yeah, that's a true story.
I think that God has a peculiar way of working with you in a way that's not the traditional, because, you know, most times now people, you know, they come into an actual church to get that deliverance or to give their life to God. Today ain't nobody trying to get married in no living room. They trying to do the whole festival
exactly
thing. Like,
yeah,
what made you able to say, okay, God, I'm satisfied with if I have to give my life to you here. I'm satisfied if I have to celebrate my wife here. Like, instead of wanting the grandiose thing.
Well, number one, when me and Tamika first got to New Life in Christ, overseer William O'Neal, I think cancer had just came back for the second time, I believe, and he was in his decline, but man, his fortitude, his tenacity, like this man was still preaching and teaching in his home, man, on the bed, or even will come to Bible studies and Wednesdays and still preach and teach. And so being under his leadership and seeing him from afar was amazing. And then number two, he wasn't having it. Obviously, William O'Neal, that year that me and Tamika got to know and love and grow with him, man, felt like 10 years. Even though Montez and all you guys had him for a long period of time, that 1 year that me and Tamika had with him, man, felt like a lifespan. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, man, obviously William O'Neal wasn't playing it. It said, if y'all gonna be under my leadership, y'all ain't playing them games. Y'all need to get this together. Y'all need to do this right. If y'all truly want God to have his hand on this marriage, I'm not gonna allow y'all to be doing what y'all want to do. And I accepted that.
When did you give your life to Christ to actually, well, not to Christ, but when did you acknowledge the ministry part of you?
Ooh, that's a good question. When did I acknowledge ministry? I would probably say going back to the Neon Flame Foundation. That's when I really, really found my love, for ministry. Knowing that God can take something that's damaged, that's broken, that's contaminated, and use it for his good. Like, if you think about, I always use this analogy. If you think about gumbo, in order for...
I was going to make you mad a couple of days ago because I was going to send you a picture because I just made one.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I got you Sunday.
Well, I need that. We need that.
No, we can't have it. You can have it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He can't have it. He can't have it.
We're going to eat all.
So my analogy has always been, when you think about gumbo, you have the seasoning, you have the spices, you have the veggies, you have the meats, all these different things that make up gumbo, but you don't eat them things by themselves. Yeah. You don't eat seasoning by itself. It's nasty, disgusting. You don't eat the raw shrimp by itself. But the moment you put it in the pot, blend it all together, get the seasoning right, get the meat right, get the texture right, let it marinate, and then come back and eat it, it comes out better than what it was before. And so Yeah. That's it.
Did you have to sacrifice friends?
Oh, extremely yes.
So
Of course.
there's a lot of people who may either listen to the audio or see the video who know I have a calling on my life, but if I accept the calling, it may cause me to have to lose people who have been in my life all my life. How did you handle the process of after you was like, okay, God, I know I'm not like them, or they not like us, because
They not like us.
So how did you handle that process to knowing you're gonna lose, still say, God, you got me?
I can go back to the story of, I believe this is when Jesus and the disciples are on the boat, and they get off the boat, and Jesus sees this man from afar who's demon possessed, 2,000 legions, I believe, something like that. And so Jesus speaks to him. The 2,000 legions come out. They go wherever they go, and after he's freed from all these demonic, legions, the text says that he's settled, he's clothed in his right mind, and right after said the people were afraid. And so the revelation is, what do we do when the best version of ourselves become a threat to others?
Yeah.
They wasn't saying nothing while he was demon possessed.
Walk
Wait,
heaven, sir.
say it again.
What do you do?
What do you do
when the best version of yourself becomes a threat to other people? They weren't saying nothing when this man was in shackles. They weren't saying nothing when this man was at the cemetery cutting on himself. They weren't saying nothing then. They were silent.
Yeah.
But the moment he's settled, the moment he's free, the moment he's clothed in his right mind, the moment he comes to himself, then the text says they were afraid.
Yeah.
What do you do when the best version of you becomes a threat to other people?
Yeah.
So that's me. Yeah, that's me. You gotta be willing to accept it. You gotta accept that everybody ain't gonna want to go with you. Mm-hmm. When a lot of people are comfortable with seeing you in dysfunction, they were okay with seeing this man continue to do this. Mm-hmm. They were okay with seeing this man probably every single day cutting on himself in the process of suicidal thoughts. Yeah. But the moment he gets clean, the moment Jesus sets him free, the moment of the spirit of liberation comes on his life, then y'all become afraid. Why? Because y'all were okay with seeing this man in bondage. Y'all were okay with seeing this man in change. Yeah. So
I haven't said it lately, but I have definitely said before, people appreciated me more whenever I was needy. Because I had to depend on you for something. But now that I'm in a season in my life where I might not call you for $20 for gas no more. It's not that I'm acting funny. Just God done something. How long have you been married? 12 years.
Yes, 12 years, been together 14.
What has marriage done for you?
Woo. Man, so much.
Keeping in mind, you still hella young.
So much, bro.
So you got married even younger.
23.
What did it do in 12 years, 23, when you had your choice to say, I want you, and you at this time, and then by the time they leave, I want you, and you. What made you say, I want you?
I would probably say, I don't know, man. Tamika was just different, man. This is a true story. She don't like me sharing it, but I like being this transparent truth. So we actually met on a dating website. I think it was called Tagged at the time. And so, Tagged. Yeah, Tagged. And so in that process, I'm still wilding out. I'm still in the club, still chasing women. mess around women, all these different things, ladies, man. And so I'm on here, doing my usual. I'm like, man, let me see what tenderoni I can get off this website. Yeah. Let me see who's gonna give me their number, man. We can make something happen. And so the crazy part is, so on certain websites, you can filter it, see what you're looking for, whether it be out of state, whether it be Texas, Arkansas, whatever the case may be. And for some reason, I don't even remember even looking in California, but her name came across the screen. I was like, okay. And I already knew the height that she was. I ain't had no problem with it. I didn't have no problem dating, and tall women and stuff like that. And so,
just for the people that don't
that don't know.
How tall is to me?
6'3".
And how tall are you?
5'4".
I love it. I promise I do. I'm from the country. I used to climb trees.
Climb trees. Yeah, man.
Michael Jackson was the only one I used to climb trees for a living, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, brother. And so that happens. And so she moves out to Texas in 2010 or 11-ish, one of them. She was going through a lot of family issues, family trauma. And so she's like, man, I want to turn over a new leaf. Let me come out here to Texas. And I think at the time she was staying with one of her cousins who lived in Dallas. And so we connected. We exchanged numbers from the website. We chopping it up. And she gets out here. And before we even got serious, she was talking to a guy who was playing. He was on the practice squad for the Seattle Seahawks. Mm-hmm. And so I think I was kicking it with a friend of mine, Epiphany, who and I were real close at that time. We hanging out. And she texted me. She let me know she's in Texas. But she couldn't hang out, I guess, with old boy because they had a curfew. Football play, athletes have curfews, can't be out too late. And so I was like, man, you want to hang out? I was like, yeah, let's hang out. So we ended up meeting at the Razzoos downtown Fort Worth. Yeah, we ended up meeting. Yeah, Sundance Square. That's where we was at. And like I said, I knew she was that height. Yeah. But it's different when you see it in person. Oh, different
ball. I saw it for the first time, I was like, the air up there.
Oh, God. And so I'm pulling up. I think she's already there. She's eating whatever. I get there. We chopping it up. And around that time, I was on beer heavy, Bud Light Lounge, all that stuff. And so I'm sipping, we getting to know each other. And then she gets up, go to the restaurant. I'm like, dang, you tall. I saw it online, but I didn't know how real this was.
Now I get to put it in perspective.
Now. And so, from there, bro, the rest is history. She ended up living in Dallas, right off, not too far from you, 635 in Skillman.
Yeah. Street over.
Yeah, 635 in Skillman. I think it is a Denny's that's right there. Unless it got closed. Yeah, so what I'm telling you. Yeah. Stayed in some apartments over there. So I would make the sacrifice on Monday nights to leave Bible study. That's when Pastor Paul was having it on Monday nights at the filling station. I would literally leave there, man, and go, kick it with her, and come back Tuesday morning, go to work. Mind you, I'm driving from Dallas for work to go to work. And so, just to make sure that she was comfortable, that she was okay. She didn't really know nobody out here. And I think prior to that, she was staying with her cousin, but her cousin ended up dying in a car accident. So now you have this blow, and you're trying to figure out life, and you're like, Lord, what do I do? And going in and out of, shelters and trying to find her way, trying to find a job and all of that. And so she finally gets on her feet, gets some work. She worked at Sears right off 635. I think they closed that down too. Worked at Sears. She was in school for a little bit. And so, I'm just doing any and everything that I can to, make sure she's comfortable and we were building that relationship. But a lot of things that we did to bond, we would go to the movies, we would go to the pool halls and shoot pool, just, build camaraderie, be a relationship. And then from there, man, the rest is history. And we've been friends ever since.
So I know whenever Montez was talking, he was shared how he was in a single parent home and you said the same. How were you, or where did you get these gentlemanly, husbandly duties that you're doing just in, as the old folks say, courting her? Where did that knowledge that this is what it's going to take to get her, or what were you even in the mindset of I'm gonna do this because I want her long term.
Yes, I was. I remember, and we in the.
Child, he smiled. Did you see that big old smile that hit that face?
What?
That man turned into
That's
the
the
Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid smile. Y'all. That's the Kool-Aid smile.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning stage of us dating and courting. You know, it was getting so serious to where she was like, "Okay, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know, we gonna make this for real, or you just gonna keep calling me your girlfriend?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta ask her. She tell you the truth, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to lock in." But the difference with Tamika was, she saw my heart, and she wasn't so caught up in stature.
Yeah.
She wasn't caught up in the fact that I had, you know, the disadvantage in height. She saw my heart posture. She saw I was trying. She saw I was really trying to make this work. You know, and so yeah, it was uncomfortable for a season in the beginning because we would go out in public every now and then, and you know, people looking at us funny, people looking at us weird, and so now I'm battling with insecurities.
Yeah.
So she may be battling with some insecurities because I think the tallest dude she dated, she told me was like 6'6", 6'8". You know what I'm saying? So having somebody
Different, yeah.
that's a whole that's
Yep.
right. Shoot. That's a huge difference, bro. And so yeah. Yeah, bro. So that was yeah, in the earlier part of our relationship marriage, man, it was definitely some tension there, and I'm like, God, is this really gonna work? Is this really gonna stand the test of time? Are we really gonna do this? And so I remember God just kept reminding me, keep showing up.
Yeah.
Like Tazz mentioned earlier, keep showing up. She sees you for who you are, not the stature.
So a part of that process, because in 2025, there are some relationships where the woman making more money than the man, or the woman working and the man just sitting home doing nothing but still wanting to run things.
Mm-hmm.
What made you, and you can probably speak on her behalf too, whenever the looks or the comments or whatever because of the height, stature, like things, because like something like that would make the insecure person be like, I like you, but
what?
yeah, I didn't sign up for this.
Right. I
didn't sign up to be somewhere with a person that I know I love, and every time I step out with you, we getting looks like we not even from Earth. For the man that's probably not making as much as the wife, or the wife that was born with a silver spoon and the man that was born in the hood, but they met in between, like, what made y'all want to say, let them look? But 12 years down the line, look at us now.
Whew. That's heavy. I would probably say it started with me getting to know Tamika's family. Mm-hmm. First time going to California after we got married, we took a trip out there. This is 2013. And the love that they showed me, how they embraced me, how they loved on me, how we hung out together, how we laughed and joked together. Like, they wasn't worrying about status. They just saw that my heart was in the right place. Mm-hmm. They just saw that I was really trying to take care of their daughter, their niece, their sister, or whatever the relationship was. And so that's what gave me a sense of peace when I really got to know her family for who they were and embracing me. From there, that just made everything much easier, bro. It was just a smooth sailing going into the rest of our years. Not saying it didn't come without trials and tribulation, because every marriage is tested. But I think it was really getting to know her family. And then on the flip side of that, her getting to know my family, I remember it was a Christmas Christmas party we had at one of my uncle's house. And most of my uncles are tall. They're around the same height as Tamika. And we were doing gifts exchange and stuff like that. And so we come in, and I believe it was my Uncle Rod who was like, man, I see you, nephew, got this tall glass of chocolate milk, man. My wife just busted out laughing. She was like, yo, uncles, man, they are hilarious. I like, that's just who they are. That's their nature, man. So on the flip side of that coin, they embraced Tamika too. Mm-hmm. And so you got both family dynamics, loving on both spouses. That made things so much easier, man. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so I've known Willie for now 11 years?
Yeah.
I think it's about 11 years
11.
now. So I've gotten a little sneak peek into his life a little
Yeah,
bit.
yes, he has.
So I can ask questions that you might not know to ask. So Willie, when it comes to I'll call it unexpected loss in any area of your life, whether it's material or otherwise, how did you or where did you find your drive to go and not give up?
Let's see. This is probably gonna go back to rest in heaven. My grandmother, Olivia Coleman, who just passed in October last year. Yeah, I would probably say her, man. The phone calls in the hard times that I was having, where it goes back to, I mean, you know, the fire incident in 2014, losing almost everything, trying to figure out, Lord, how are we going to rebuild from here? What does that look like? Yeah. I'm fresh off of work. I pull up outside, it's smoke everywhere. It's people crying. It's families that are devastated. It's firemen, police, all these just different things that's going on. We're just trying to figure out what does restoration look like? Right. And so, going back to my grandmother, man, those phone calls, and I quote this all the time. I probably need to put it on a shirt or a sweater, but my grandmother, man, she always used the analogy of the snail. Yeah. She was like, grandson, even though I might be moving as slow as a snail, I'm still moving. Mm-hmm. I'm still moving. Because my mama and them, my uncle, they would always tease her because of how slow she was moving. But when I had those phone calls with her, she was like, grandson, hey, as long as I still breath in my body, there's another opportunity for me to get it right. Yeah. As long as I can wake up in the morning, I can keep going. Yeah. And so I might not be moving as I used to be, right, but I'm still moving. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I always hone into, man. That came from my grandmother, man. The wisdom, the gems that she would give me in those dark times. So, yeah, that was my rock, man. Olivia Coleman.
My last question, the biggest thing that you've learned about you?
Whew, biggest thing that I learned about me? Stop beating yourself up. Yeah, stop beating yourself up.
Yeah, man.
And this goes back to another story. Y'all know I'm a preacher, man. I'm gonna let it out. This goes back to I believe it's in Acts. I don't remember the chapter. This is the time where Peter was in prison and the angel of the Lord came to him and was kind of instructing him on how everything was gonna go. And so as the angel was leading Peter, the angel says, "Arise quickly." Then right after he says, "Arise," the chains that Peter had on his wrists fell off. And so the revelation is things don't fall off until we get up.
I almost threw this.
Yeah.
That man drops gems on a regular.
Yeah, things, whatever that is, yeah, whatever that thing looks like, whatever that vice is, whatever that relationship was, that job loss, whatever's holding you bound, things don't fall off until you arise and get up. And to add to that, this is another phrase that I always use is your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. And otherwise, you can't stay there. Yeah, we go through trauma. Yeah, we go through hurt. Yeah, we go through pain. Yeah, we go through loss. But you can't allow yourself to stay there. You have to evict those things. It's almost like you going through financial problems and the people or the landlord puts that eviction notice on your door. The principle is for you to get out. Yeah. We do that in our homes, or we're doing that in our personal lives. Mm-hmm. We evicting those things that's lingering that should be gone. And so, yeah. Things don't fall off until you get up.
Yeah, I wonder why I love talking to that boy.
So, oh man, he done inspired something, Jesus. So, when you said that, the first thing I thought about was the man at the pool. He was there for healing. Yeah. Everybody knew that's what everybody was there for. We was trying to get something fixed. But he never actually told that man that he was healed. He just said, take up your bed.
Get up.
And walk. Wow. Yes, sir.
Which means that man had to have faith that if I got up just because he said get up, I have to have faith.
I have to have faith that I'm good. Wow. Yeah. Great point, brother.
It's in the getting up.
It's in the get. It's in the
in the
get. Get on.
You gotta get some get up in you, yo.
That's gonna preach.
In the words of Jodeci, you gotta get on up, baby.
No, the background music is gonna be James Brown.
Get on up.
Get up, get on up. That's gonna preach.
That's gonna
somewhere.
preach, brother.
That's gonna preach somewhere.
My God,
Man.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we may have to have a whole nother podcast called True Transparency.
My God,
That's a good idea.
That is actually a really good
We
idea.
might have a whole nother podcast called True Transparency. Because again, these were just a couple stories.
So there's plenty of them.
yeah, it is.
There's so
Plenty of 'em.
much more. Shout out to Glenette. Thank you, baby, for coming through. Love you so
Sis.
much. Shout out to our new cast, our new family.
My brother.
Brother.
T.
T. And of course, you know, this stuff just wouldn't even go down without my brother Wille Beamen.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Definitely give a shout out and a thank you to Bishop Sherman C.G. Allen
Yes.
and co-pastor Dr. Otanya Allen. Thank you guys for just believing in the vision enough to be what you guys are to me and to support. Like, if I want to kick a can across the street, y'all buy a soda and let me drink it and then kick the can. So we appreciate you for that.
True love.
Where can people find you on social media, T?
Whew, I'm on just about everything.
Okay.
Shoot, Montez Toombs is his name. You look it up on Facebook. I'm there. Anything else? MR, the number 2, MBS. That is Mr. Toombs with a 2.
Hey,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We here.
Where can they find you, Willie?
Y'all know what it is. Y'all can find me on that TikTok. That's Wille Beamen. Y'all can find me on Instagram as well. It should be W Strickland. Yeah, that's where y'all can find me, man.
And of course, we didn't get to ask her, but you can find Glenette
Yes.
on social media at Arthur_Glenette Nelson. I just plugged you in, so that's $50 for my voice saying, nah, I'm joking. I love you. Of course, you can find me at I am Trevayn, TREVAYNE. New podcast. The new handle for this show is Spotlight TV Network across all platforms. Want some R&B music? I am Trevayn. Holla at your boy.
Hey.
I am encouraged that today's show will not only educate, entertain, but will also inspire. So if you know someone who is going through something, just share it, because you never know who's on your timeline that's going through something that needs to know. So whether it's the full show, whether it's a segment, or whether it's a reel, do me a favor and share this. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that we have launched Spotlight TV Network, which is our own platform mirroring Tubi and Netflix, that is available. Spotlight TV.nowcast.cc. We'll have our domain to redirect with that soon. But we are encouraged that this year, the only way that you don't get to accomplish what needs to be accomplished is because you don't try, because God has put every tool that you need in your hand to get it done. I would encourage people right now, if you are an entrepreneur or if you have the passion to be an entrepreneur, put that into work, because the way that things are looking for us right now, the people who have been working in jobs for 20 and 30 years that are getting pink slips for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
Walking
It
them out.
is best to be able to say, you can't fire me because you didn't hire me. So with that being said, today was emotional, bro.
Today was, my God.
Y'all tried to get me.
I tried to pull it
I
out.
held my own.
I thank y'all for coming through, though, man. We'll see y'all next week, but we're gonna try to get this show out tomorrow. Until then, holla, love y'all.
Peace.